The most efficient way to play EAFC Ultimate Team. I know, it may not really be necessary, it's a game at the end of the day, and it's likely you just want to have fun. But if you're someone like me who really enjoys the grind with any type of game, then this video is going to break down how you can spend your time effectively to make the most amount of coins. But before we do get into the video, if you want to hit the ground running, then there is no better place than U4GM. U4GM offers cheap, fast and reliable EAFC coins so that you don't always need to be on the grind. You don't need to be going through this video learning how to play Ultimate Team efficiently, because you could do whatever the hell you want to do. Buy players, buy packs, go into the various game modes, anything. Simply use the link in the description down below, select the platform you play on, how many coins you would like, and proceed to checkout. To make this deal even better, you can also use code FNATIC, which now gives you a 10%, not a 5%, but a 10% discount. So reminder, link can be found in the description down below. Thank you U4GM for sponsoring today's video. I want to start off by saying that not every single game mode within Ultimate Team is created equal. There are some which you should be paying more attention to, whereas others you really just want to dip in and dip out. But if you are still looking to get the most rewards every single week, then it's advised to go through as many as possible. And if you're aiming for that, then this is the way in which you should do it. Firstly, let's start off with Monday, the start of the week. This is where you want to go through Division Rivals. And Division Rivals is fairly similar to what I was just saying about with some game modes you want to dip in and dip out, because it certainly has its place. And if you have only just started Ultimate Team, you may want to dedicate a bit more time to this game mode as you're progressing through divisions from Division 10 up to where you should be. But once you get to where you should be, that is when you want to do the bare minimum, which is get 3 wins or 7 wins every single week. Once you've achieved those wins, the only other reason for you to continuously keep on playing this game mode is if you need the 1,250 qualification points. But if you have 7 wins and the qualification points, there's no real reason to carry on grinding. Of course, you can try to aim to be promoted to the next division, but the jump between what type of reward you'll get within the current division to the next division with the exact same amount of wins, being 7, isn't that much. And that's why it's best to dip in, get your wins with this game mode, get your qualification points, and then dip out. By dipping out, that's when you can then spend your time going through the Champions Playoff. That's why we wanted to aim to get 1,250 qualification points, because that's what's needed in order for you to go into the Champions Playoff. Now with this, at the minimum, you need to be aiming to get that qualification token. It takes 20 points, so what needs to happen is for you to get 4 wins, and then you can forfeit the rest. Not actually forfeit the whole of the Champions Playoffs, but actually go into games, score an own goal, and then quit. Gifting your opponent the win, you get the loss, but you'll still be rewarded for that loss. And by doing this, you are guaranteed to get that qualification token. My recommendation though is that you continuously keep on playing, especially if you already have a good streak right at the beginning, because you can get some really good rewards from the Champions Playoff. And unlike some of the other game modes that we've already gone through with Division Rivals and what we will be going through, Champions Playoffs will pay you out immediately. The second that you reach your rank and you've completed all games, those packs and rewards are immediately added to your account. The cool thing with this is that it doesn't take too long. If you're a confident player and you can get through this, even someone such as myself, who I am definitely not a good player when it comes to gameplay, I still qualify every single week. And this can be completed on a Tuesday. If you're unfortunate enough to not get a qualification token, it does mean that it is worth going back into Division Rivals, because it is the case that you now need those 1,250 qualification points again. But this is now where we move over to Wednesday and Thursday. And to be honest, it doesn't matter what you do. Of course, it's not advised to go through Division Rivals based on what we've said. You can't go into the Champions Playoff because you have already qualified. You can't start the Champions Finals because that doesn't start until Friday. So that leaves every other game mode. Squad battles, friendlies, moments, and draft. And really, I would go into it in that order. I'm not expecting you to play all 32 games within 2 days just for squad battles, but certainly get a few thousand points. Try and aim for gold or potentially even elite depending on your ability within game. Increase difficulty to the max that it can be for what you can still get a win in, and proceed. This isn't going to be game changing, but you will be rewarded with coins and you will be rewarded with packs. Friendlies is a surprising one to many people because from friendlies itself, you don't actually get anything. However, if you link this up to objectives, you'll be able to get a lot of coins, a lot of XP, and a lot of packs, depending on the challenges that are available at the time. Another positive with friendlies is that there is this rule within game that happens probably 80-90% of the time, where if you score, most of the time your opponent will forfeit. Unless there's challenges which require you to play games and not just get wins. If it's get wins, then it's likely that they're going to quit immediately. If it's play games, they may stay around to the end. Moments is very tedious. It got very boring last year, especially when the game mode completely broke and you weren't rewarded well. You'd have to go through each one. It wouldn't let you increase the difficulty of the challenges, and with the content that EA were pushing, every single challenge required you to play 45 minutes, half a game. So far this year with EA FC, going through moments, they've been shorter, so it's more rewarding for the time that you put in. And of course, we can't deny that it is free and you get tradable rewards at the end. The only reason draft is last is because there is that 15,000 coins to enter or 300 FC points. However, it will still be profitable if you're able to get to the final every single time. Even if the rewards you get are not good, you should still be able to quick sell and at the very least break even. If you're confident, go through online. That's where you're going to get the best rewards. If you're not as confident, then just go through the single player draft, select a difficulty. In fact, it doesn't matter what difficulty you select, you get the same rewards, but select a difficulty which you're comfortable at, and that way you'll always be able to get to the final. That's the order in which I recommend going through. If you don't have time to go through all of this, don't worry. Just start at the top with squad battles and see how far you get and what you really want to do. And then that brings us to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which of course means that you go for the Champions Final. Now, some of you are absolutely crazy in that you can play 20 games within a single day. So I end up spending 3 days just going through the final. But if you're someone who completes the Champions Final on the Friday, you finish all 20 games, you claim your rewards, you could start Division Rivals immediately straight after. You don't need to wait until the Monday, but with this, it comes down to how much time you're dedicating to this game. If you couldn't tell, despite loving Ultimate Team and loving the grind, I do often take quite a few breaks. And depending on how gameplay is on the weekend, I may forfeit all 20 matches because you are still rewarded. And it's still in a situation where you're not going to lose every single game. I know, it sounds weird, especially when my intent is to forfeit. This happened last year and also the year before, but this is what happened within FIFA 23. You'll forfeit your first 5 games, you'll be 0-5, but then you'll start to be matched up to other players who have a similar record to you. And those players are either not that good in game, or they're doing the exact same thing, which is forfeiting their matches. And early on within Ultimate Team, people seem to be nice in that they will score own goals and then forfeit. It's unlikely for you to end the weekend league with a positive record, but you can still get anywhere between 1 to 8 wins, which is kind of crazy, and normally takes about 40 to 60 minutes in order for you to forfeit all 20 games. This is going back and forth within the menus, scoring own goals, forfeiting, and then loading back into finding a new game. And with everything that I've gone through, and we did highlight this specifically with friendlies, talking about objectives, but you should try to complete objectives within each and every single one. Change up your team because it really doesn't matter, especially in game modes such as Division Rivals, Squad Battles, Friendlies, Moments, and even in Draft. Build a team which can complete the challenges. There's not many objectives for Draft and Moments, but you will get a lot of challenges for the various other game modes, so change your team to best fit them. And in between each game, it's still recommended to trade. If you need some very easy trading methods, then I highly recommend clicking the video on screen. That video will go through risk-free trading methods that you can use within Ultimate Team to guarantee profit. So click that and I'll be over there to guide you through absolutely everything.